Hey there, Dr. Scott Shella here with you again for another Research for All of Us webisode. Today's article that I reviewed and took a look at was titled, "Is Medical Error the Third Leading Cause of Death in the United States?" And this is a really interesting one. This brings up some really important points on how important it is for us to take care of ourselves and to take charge of our own health. It's in our hands, and how important that is. So yeah, this study looked at is medical error and going to the doctor the third leading cause of death. So the top two are heart disease and cancer, and then the third this study found was actually medical error. And that seems kind of backwards. When you go to the doctor, you're supposed to be leaving feeling better. That's how it's supposed to work, unless you're going to see Dr. Kevorkian. You should be leaving in better shape than you got there. But that's not at all what this study found. And one of the things the reasons for this has gone so unnoticed and unpublished is because it's just not documented. See, every time someone passes away, the death certificate's signed off by the doctor or the coroner or whoever does it, and they have to put a code. It's called an ICD code, International Classification of Diseases. You thank the insurance companies for this. But so every death, every disease, everything that happens in a medical facility gets one of these numbered codes. The problem is there's no numbered code for medical error leading to death. So whatever the person dies of, it gets linked to something else. So an example they used in this paper was a woman had come in for a transplant surgery. She did fine with the transplant. She was recovering okay. A few weeks after she was released, she was experiencing some random kind of non-specific symptoms. They weren't really sure what was going on with her, so they put her through a battery of tests. One of those included sticking actual needle in the sac around her heart to test the fluid in it they did it for infection, things like that. And that came back normal. They didn't find anything, so they released her. And a few days later, she was readmitted to the hospital because she was having internal bleeding, and then had suffered a heart attack, which she unfortunately passed away from. And what they found when they did the autopsy was when they had done this procedure with the needle, checking the fluid in her heart, they had accidentally nicked her liver. That caused an aneurysm and blood clot, and then when that traveled and ruptured, that caused the internal bleeding and then led to the heart attack. So on the death report, it was just put as cardiovascular problem. That's because that's what ultimately took her life, was the heart attack. So that's all it's listed as. Nothing to do with the medical errors involved in leading up to that heart attack. So it just shows this lack of information and how it happens. So what this study did was they looked at a number of different research papers done from varying hospitals around the country that looked at the actual medical records, not just the codes put down on the death certificate, to see what had actually happened in these cases. And that way they could see if they were really from medical errors. And when they totaled those up and then averaged them around the hospitals, and then did a bunch of fancy math and statistics to extrapolate that out to all the hospitals and all the potential visits that happen in the country, is where they come up with the number, and it ends up ranking, as I said, the third leading cause of death. So the purpose of the authors writing this paper was just to point out that big gap in the information and where it is, and so that it can be recorded properly, because if it can be documented properly, then they can find where these errors are happening, why they're happening, and how to correct them, so they don't happen as often, and we can get a handle on it. My point in reviewing this paper, and I thought it was a great chance to talk about just how important it is to take care of your health yourself. I'm not here to bash the medical system. It's fantastic. If you need emergency care, if you're hurt, anything like that happens, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. Our emergency care is second to none. But when it comes to true health care, to just being healthy, that's where I think it lacks a little, and that's where it's on us. We need to take charge of our own health. The top two killers in the United States, the heart diseases and the cancers, those didn't just come out of nowhere. We do those to ourselves because of poor diet, lack of exercise, too much stress in our lives. All these different things lead up. They're all things under our control. Nobody's making us sit on the couch and eat Twinkies. That's a choice. So you make the right choices, you can avoid the top two killers in the United States. And if you're avoiding those first two, then you're going to be in the doctor less, and then you're avoiding the third too. So you can avoid all of them. So it really is just as simple as as eating right, as getting exercise, doing the things we know we're supposed to be doing to be healthy, and and that's why this whole webisodes and these articles I write and all this stuff exists, because I want to help you do that. I want to help you, point you in the right direction, and give you tips and tricks where I can on how to be healthy. So, I think obviously I'm a chiropractor, so I'm going to start with the cornerstone of being healthy is getting adjusted, having your spine taken care of, because if your nervous system is functioning properly, well then of course the rest of your body can also function properly. That's what chiropractic is all about. But then, we are what we eat, so you need to be eating, the right foods, choosing organic when you can, staying out of the anything that comes in a box or a bag. Is likely not going to be good for you. So real food, that's what you're supposed to be eating, and then getting some exercise. And whatever it is, it doesn't have to be sitting in a gym, lifting things up and putting them down. Right? It can be whatever you like. I'm an outdoorsy. I love being outside, so I'm going to hike and I'm going to kayak and I'm going to ride my bike and I'm going to do those kinds of things. But it's whatever works for you. Just getting active, doing those things you're supposed to. Is really all it takes. As we say, it is as simple as that. So really like this article just because, again, it opens up that conversation to hopefully make you aware, light a fire under you to take charge of your health, and if I can be in any service of that, that's what I'm here for. So let me know in the comments and anything else you want to know about, any questions you have. Be sure, as always, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook so you get all the articles as they come out, as I do these episodes. I'm going to try and do them at least weekly, maybe even more, some bonus ones in between here and there. Go for the researchforallofus.com website. There's tons of old articles on there on all sorts of different topics. I'll be adding video to all the written ones up there too, so if you're not into that reading thing, you can just sit back and watch and let me read it to you. So, as always, have a great day. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.